Today I would like to invite you to listen to the Dhammapada of the Buddha Sakyamuni, the 193rd verses from the Buddhist scriptures on the YouTube channel Thien Thai in the USA. Hard to find is a man of great wisdom. Such a man is not born everywhere. Where such a wise man is born, that family thrives. At one time, the Venerable Ananda was reflecting upon the teachings of the Blessed One. He had heard the Buddha explain that among elephants there are noble elephants. Among horses there are noble horses. Among people there are those who possess extraordinary virtue and wisdom. Venerable Ananda respectfully asked the Buddha about the rare appearance of a truly wise person in the world. The Buddha then taught that a person of great wisdom is difficult to find. Such a person is not born in every place. Wherever such a wise person appears, that family, community, and land receive blessings and benefit. Upon that occasion, the Buddha spoke this sacred verse. Through this teaching, the Blessed One revealed the immeasurable value of wisdom. Wealth may enrich a household for a short time. Power may influence people for a short time. Beauty may attract attention for a short time. Yet wisdom illuminates countless lives. Wisdom guides beings across suffering. Wisdom leads people away from ignorance and toward awakening. Therefore, the Buddha praised the birth of a wise person as a rare blessing in the world. When we contemplate this verse deeply, we begin to understand that the Buddha is not merely speaking about intelligence. The wisdom praised by the Buddha is not the ability to memorize many books. It is not clever speech. It is not skill in debate. The wisdom praised by the Buddha is the wisdom that sees reality as it truly is. It is the wisdom that understands impermanence. It is the wisdom that understands suffering. It is the wisdom that understands non-self. It is the wisdom that cuts through attachment, hatred, and delusion. Such wisdom transforms a human life. Such wisdom becomes a lamp in darkness. Such wisdom becomes a bridge across dangerous waters. Such wisdom becomes a refuge for many beings. In this world, people often search for external success. They seek wealth. They seek fame. They seek recognition. They seek comfort. Yet all these things are uncertain. Wealth may disappear. Fame may fade. Health may decline. Relationships may change. Everything conditioned is impermanent. If a person builds happiness only upon changing conditions, suffering will eventually arise. The Buddha therefore encouraged us to cultivate wisdom. Wisdom remains a treasure that cannot be stolen by thieves. Wisdom cannot be burned by fire. Wisdom cannot be washed away by floods. Wisdom accompanies us through every stage of life. Wisdom guides us during youth. Wisdom steadies us during adulthood. Wisdom comforts us during old age. Wisdom supports us when facing death. The verse tells us that a truly wise person is difficult to find. Why is such a person rare? The reason is that wisdom does not arise accidentally. Wisdom is the fruit of countless wholesome causes and conditions. A farmer cannot harvest rice without planting seeds. A gardener cannot gather flowers without caring for the garden. Likewise, wisdom grows through diligent cultivation. Wisdom grows through ethical conduct. Wisdom grows through meditation. Wisdom grows through mindfulness. Wisdom grows through compassion. Wisdom grows through patience. Wisdom grows through humility. A person who sincerely cultivates these qualities over time gradually develops wisdom. Since many people neglect this cultivation, genuine wisdom becomes rare. When we observe the world, we can see many examples of knowledge without wisdom. Some people possess extensive education, yet remain restless. Some people understand complicated theories, yet cannot control anger. Some people can manage great businesses, yet cannot find peace within their own hearts. Knowledge and wisdom are not always the same. Knowledge may fill the mind with information. Wisdom purifies the mind from ignorance. Knowledge can help a person earn a living. Wisdom helps a person understand how to live. Knowledge may create inventions. Wisdom ensures that inventions benefit humanity. Knowledge may reveal the outer world. Wisdom reveals the inner world. The Buddha constantly guided his disciples toward inner transformation. He did not merely encourage them to believe. He encouraged them to investigate. He encouraged them to observe. He encouraged them to practice. The path of wisdom begins when we become willing to examine our own minds. We begin to notice our thoughts. We begin to notice our emotions. We begin to notice our habits. We begin to see how attachment creates suffering. We begin to see how anger disturbs peace. We begin to see how greed produces dissatisfaction. Through careful observation, wisdom gradually arises. A wise person understands that every action carries consequences. Therefore, such a person acts with care. When speaking, a wise person considers whether words are truthful, beneficial, and timely. When acting, a wise person considers whether actions bring harm or benefit. When thinking, a wise person notices whether thoughts lead toward peace or suffering. This awareness protects both oneself and others. Wisdom is not merely an idea. Wisdom is expressed through daily conduct. Wisdom appears in kindness. Wisdom appears in patience. Wisdom appears in forgiveness. Wisdom appears in generosity. Wisdom appears whenever a person chooses understanding instead of hostility. The Buddha taught that wherever a wise person is born, that family thrives. We should reflect carefully upon this statement. The Buddha is not saying that prosperity is measured only by money. A family may possess great wealth and yet experience constant conflict. A family may own many possessions and yet feel empty within. True prosperity includes harmony. True prosperity includes virtue. True prosperity includes mutual respect. True prosperity includes understanding. When a wise person lives within a family, these qualities naturally spread. Their presence becomes a source of guidance. Their example becomes a source of inspiration. Consider a family in which one member practices patience. When disagreements arise, that person responds calmly. Instead of adding fuel to conflict, they create understanding. Gradually, others learn from their example. Consider a family in which one member practices generosity. Their kindness encourages others to share. Consider a family in which one member practices mindfulness. Their peaceful presence influences those around them. In this way, wisdom becomes a blessing not only for the individual, but for the entire family. The influence of wisdom extends beyond the family. A wise person benefits friends. A wise person benefits communities. A wise person benefits society. Throughout history, many individuals have changed countless lives through wisdom and compassion. They did not conquer nations through force. They did not dominate others through fear. They transformed hearts through understanding. Their words brought comfort. Their actions brought hope. Their example inspired goodness. Such individuals continue to illuminate the world long after their physical lives have ended. When we listen to the teachings of the Buddha, we should not merely admire wise people from a distance. We should ask ourselves whether we are cultivating wisdom within our own lives. Every person possesses the potential for wisdom. The Buddha did not reserve enlightenment for a select few. He taught a path that can be practiced by all sincere individuals. Every moment offers an opportunity to grow. Every challenge offers an opportunity to learn. Every difficulty offers an opportunity to deepen understanding. Sometimes people believe that wisdom belongs only to monks, nuns, scholars, or spiritual teachers. This is not the Buddha's teaching. Wisdom can be cultivated by anyone who practices the path sincerely. A parent caring for children with patience is cultivating wisdom. A worker performing duties honestly is cultivating wisdom. A student learning with humility is cultivating wisdom. An elderly person reflecting upon life with understanding is cultivating wisdom. Wisdom belongs to no particular group. Wisdom belongs to all who walk the path of awakening. One important aspect of wisdom is recognizing impermanence. Everything changes. Seasons change. Bodies change. Emotions change. Circumstances change. Because change is inevitable, attachment to permanence creates suffering. A wise person understands this truth. Therefore, they appreciate blessings while they exist, yet they do not cling to them. They accept loss without becoming overwhelmed. They accept change without despair. This acceptance does not mean indifference. Rather, it means understanding reality as it is. Another aspect of wisdom is compassion. True wisdom and true compassion cannot be separated. The more deeply we understand suffering, the more naturally compassion arises. When we recognize that all beings seek happiness and wish to avoid pain, our hearts become softer. We become less judgmental. We become more patient. We become more forgiving. Wisdom without compassion can become cold. Compassion without wisdom can become misguided. Therefore, the Buddha encouraged both qualities to develop together. The wise person also understands the law of karma. Every intentional action produces results. Wholesome actions bring beneficial consequences. Unwholesome actions bring painful consequences. Understanding this principle encourages responsibility. Instead of blaming others for every difficulty, we examine our own actions. Instead of waiting for external circumstances to change, we cultivate wholesome causes. This attitude empowers spiritual growth. It encourages maturity. It strengthens integrity. The path to wisdom requires effort. The Buddha repeatedly emphasized diligence. A person who wishes to develop wisdom must practice consistently. Just as water gradually wears away stone, steady practice gradually transforms the mind. Small acts of kindness accumulate. Moments of mindfulness accumulate. Acts of generosity accumulate. Periods of meditation accumulate. Over time, these efforts create profound change. Therefore, we should never underestimate the value of small wholesome actions. Many people become discouraged because they do not see immediate results. Yet spiritual development resembles the growth of a tree. Seeds planted today do not become towering trees tomorrow. Growth occurs gradually. Roots develop beneath the surface before branches appear above the ground. Likewise, wisdom often develops quietly. We may not notice changes immediately. Yet if we continue practicing, understanding deepens. Patience strengthens. Compassion expands. Peace increases. The Buddha's verse reminds us that wise people are rare. Rather than becoming discouraged by this rarity, we should feel inspired. Rare treasures are precious because they are uncommon. Wisdom is precious because it liberates beings from suffering. Whenever we encounter a wise teacher, we should listen respectfully. Whenever we encounter wise teachings, we should study carefully. Whenever wisdom arises within our own hearts, we should nurture it diligently. As we continue reflecting upon this sacred verse, let us remember that every enlightened being began as an ordinary person. Every noble disciple began with small steps. Every great teacher once faced confusion and difficulty. Through perseverance, mindfulness, and wisdom, transformation became possible. Therefore, we should never underestimate our own potential. The seeds of awakening already exist within us. Through sincere practice, these seeds can grow into great wisdom, great compassion, and great peace. Beloved friends in the Dharma, as we continue contemplating this sacred teaching, let us look more deeply into the qualities that make a wise person so rare in the world. The Buddha did not praise wisdom because it makes a person appear important. He praised wisdom because it liberates the heart from suffering. In ordinary life, people often seek what is pleasant and avoid what is unpleasant. When praised, they become happy. When criticized, they become upset. When gaining something desirable, they feel joy. When losing something valuable, they experience sorrow. Their peace rises and falls according to changing conditions. The wise person understands these movements of the mind. The wise person observes them carefully and does not become their servant. Because of this understanding, the wise person remains steady amid success and failure, praise and blame, gain and loss, pleasure and pain. Such stability is one of the signs of true wisdom. The world often admires strength that can move mountains, conquer territories, or influence large numbers of people. Yet the Buddha revealed a different kind of strength. The greatest strength is mastery of one's own mind. A person who can remain calm in the midst of anger possesses great strength. A person who can remain compassionate when faced with hostility possesses great strength. A person who can remain honest when dishonesty appears easier possesses great strength. Such strength does not depend upon physical power. It does not depend upon social status. It arises from wisdom and discipline. This inner strength protects the heart from many forms of suffering. When difficulties arise, many people immediately search for someone to blame. They blame circumstances. They blame other people. They blame fate. They blame the world. The wise person responds differently. The wise person first examines the mind. The wise person asks what can be learned from the situation. Instead of allowing resentment to grow, the wise person cultivates understanding. Instead of becoming trapped in bitterness, the wise person seeks a path toward peace. This attitude does not mean accepting injustice. It means responding wisely rather than reacting blindly. Wisdom transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. The Buddha taught that ignorance is the root of suffering. Ignorance does not simply mean a lack of information. It means misunderstanding reality. When people believe that impermanent things can provide permanent satisfaction, suffering arises. When people cling to possessions, relationships, opinions, or identities as though they will never change, suffering arises. When people view themselves as separate from others and become consumed by selfishness, suffering arises. Wisdom gradually removes these misunderstandings. Wisdom helps us see life more clearly. As clarity increases, suffering decreases. A wise person recognizes that every human being is carrying unseen burdens. Some struggle with fear. Some struggle with grief. Some struggle with loneliness. Some struggle with disappointment. Because the wise person understands this, compassion naturally develops. Instead of judging harshly, the wise person seeks to understand. Instead of condemning quickly, the wise person listens carefully. Instead of responding with cruelty, the wise person responds with kindness. Compassion becomes the natural expression of wisdom. Wherever wisdom grows, compassion follows. The Buddha often compared wisdom to light. Imagine entering a dark room. In darkness, confusion prevails. Objects cannot be seen clearly. One may stumble or become afraid. When a lamp is lit, confusion disappears. The room itself has not changed, yet everything becomes visible. Wisdom functions in the same way. Life may contain challenges, uncertainties, and difficulties, but wisdom allows us to see clearly. Once we see clearly, we can respond appropriately. We no longer stumble through ignorance. We walk with awareness and understanding. The cultivation of wisdom begins with mindfulness. Mindfulness means being fully aware of the present moment. Many people spend their lives trapped between memories of the past and worries about the future. Their minds wander constantly. They miss the reality of the present moment. The wise person trains the mind to remain aware. When walking, the wise person knows that walking is occurring. When eating, the wise person knows that eating is occurring. When speaking, the wise person knows what is being said. This simple awareness becomes the foundation for profound understanding. When mindfulness deepens, we begin to observe the changing nature of experience. Thoughts arise and pass away. Feelings arise and pass away. Sensations arise and pass away. Moods arise and pass away. Nothing remains fixed. This observation reveals the truth of impermanence. As understanding deepens, attachment weakens. We no longer cling so tightly to pleasant experiences. We no longer fear unpleasant experiences quite as much. We begin to recognize that all conditions are temporary. This recognition brings freedom. One of the greatest obstacles to wisdom is pride. Pride convinces people that they already know enough. Pride closes the door to learning. Pride resists correction. Pride rejects advice. The wise person remains humble. Humility does not mean thinking poorly of oneself. Humility means recognizing that there is always more to learn. A humble person listens carefully. A humble person reflects honestly. A humble person remains open to truth regardless of where it appears. Because of this openness, wisdom continues to grow. In contrast, arrogance often creates suffering. A person who believes that only their opinions matter becomes isolated. A person who refuses to listen misses opportunities for growth. A person who constantly seeks superiority experiences endless dissatisfaction. The wise person understands that all beings share the same desire for happiness. This understanding softens pride and encourages respect. Wisdom sees interconnectedness where ignorance sees separation. The Buddha taught that speech is extremely important in spiritual practice. Words can heal or harm. Words can unite or divide. Words can encourage or discourage. The wise person therefore speaks carefully. Before speaking, the wise person considers whether the words are true. The wise person considers whether the words are beneficial. The wise person considers whether the words are spoken with kindness. Through such mindfulness, speech becomes a source of harmony rather than conflict. Many difficulties within families arise from careless speech. Harsh words spoken in anger can leave wounds that last for years. Misunderstandings can grow when communication lacks patience and compassion. A wise person helps prevent such suffering. Through calm and thoughtful speech, wisdom creates peace. Through listening with attention, wisdom creates understanding. Through responding with kindness, wisdom strengthens relationships. This is one reason the Buddha taught that families thrive when wisdom is present. A wise person also understands the value of silence. In modern life, many people feel compelled to speak constantly. They fear silence. Yet silence can be a powerful teacher. In silence, we can observe the mind. In silence, we can reflect deeply. In silence, we can hear truths that are often drowned out by noise. The wise person knows when to speak and when to remain silent. This balance reflects maturity and understanding. Generosity is another quality closely connected with wisdom. An unwise person may cling tightly to possessions, believing that accumulation brings security. Yet no amount of possession can eliminate impermanence. Everything must eventually be left behind. The wise person understands this truth. Therefore, generosity becomes natural. Sharing resources, time, attention, and kindness brings joy. Generosity reduces selfishness and strengthens connection with others. It creates conditions for happiness both in oneself and in others. The Buddha frequently praised generosity because it softens the heart. A soft heart is receptive to wisdom. A hard heart struggles to learn. When generosity becomes a habit, attachment weakens. As attachment weakens, clarity increases. Thus, generosity supports the development of wisdom. The path of awakening is not merely an intellectual journey. It is a transformation of the entire heart and mind. Patience is another treasure possessed by wise individuals. Life inevitably includes challenges. There will be delays, disappointments, misunderstandings, illnesses, and losses. Without patience, the mind becomes agitated. Agitation clouds judgment and creates suffering. Patience allows wisdom to remain present. Instead of reacting impulsively, the patient person responds thoughtfully. Instead of becoming overwhelmed, the patient person remains balanced. Patience creates space for understanding. Many people wish for immediate results in spiritual practice. They want peace immediately. They want wisdom immediately. They want freedom from suffering immediately. Yet the Buddha repeatedly emphasized gradual cultivation. Just as a river slowly shapes a valley, consistent practice gradually transforms the mind. Every act of mindfulness matters. Every moment of kindness matters. Every effort toward understanding matters. Though progress may appear slow, transformation is occurring. The wise person learns from every experience. Success teaches certain lessons. Failure teaches other lessons. Joy teaches. Sorrow teaches. Gain teaches. Loss teaches. Nothing is wasted when wisdom is present. Even painful experiences can become opportunities for growth. Difficulties often reveal attachments that were previously hidden. Challenges often expose areas where greater understanding is needed. Through careful reflection, wisdom emerges from experience. The Buddha's teaching encourages us not to fear difficulties. Difficulties are part of human life. The question is not whether challenges will arise. The question is how we will respond when they appear. Wisdom allows us to face challenges with courage. Wisdom allows us to face uncertainty with trust. Wisdom allows us to face suffering with understanding. In this way, difficulties become teachers rather than enemies. Another characteristic of wise individuals is gratitude. Gratitude recognizes the countless conditions that support life. We depend upon the efforts of others in countless ways. Food reaches our tables through the labor of many people. Knowledge reaches us through the efforts of teachers. Comfort reaches us through the kindness of others. Recognizing this interconnectedness generates gratitude. Gratitude nourishes humility. Gratitude nourishes contentment. Gratitude nourishes compassion. Contentment is a profound form of wealth. Many people possess abundant resources yet remain dissatisfied. Their desires continually expand. No achievement feels sufficient. No possession feels enough. The wise person understands that endless craving cannot produce lasting happiness. Therefore, contentment becomes a source of peace. Contentment does not mean abandoning effort or responsibility. It means appreciating what is present while remaining free from endless dissatisfaction. The Buddha often reminded his disciples that death is certain, while the time of death is uncertain. This reflection is not intended to create fear. It is intended to awaken wisdom. When we remember the preciousness of life, we become more mindful of how we spend our days. We become less interested in trivial conflicts. We become more interested in meaningful actions. We become more committed to kindness, generosity, and understanding. Awareness of impermanence encourages wise living. The wise person understands that every day presents a choice. We can nourish greed or generosity. We can nourish anger or compassion. We can nourish ignorance or wisdom. The mind develops according to what we repeatedly cultivate. Just as a garden reflects the seeds that are planted, our character reflects the qualities we nurture. Therefore, spiritual practice requires continuous attention. Each moment becomes an opportunity to strengthen wholesome qualities. Choosing patience over anger is wisdom. Choosing honesty over deception is wisdom. Choosing generosity over selfishness is wisdom. Choosing mindfulness over distraction is wisdom. These seemingly small choices shape the direction of our lives. Over time, they lead toward profound transformation. The Buddha's teaching remains relevant because human nature has not changed. People still seek happiness. People still struggle with suffering. People still experience attachment, fear, anger, and confusion. The path of wisdom remains as valuable today as it was in ancient times. The principles of mindfulness, compassion, ethical conduct, and insight continue to guide people toward peace. Wherever these qualities flourish, wisdom flourishes. Wherever wisdom flourishes, harmony and well-being naturally follow. May we continue cultivating wisdom in our thoughts, words, and actions. May we learn from every experience. May we respond to challenges with understanding. May we develop compassion for all beings. May we bring harmony to our families and communities. May the light of wisdom grow steadily within our hearts. In this way, we honor the sacred teaching of the Buddha and move closer to freedom from suffering, peace of mind, and the realization of the true Dharma. Nama Amitabha bless to all. I hope to bring this merit towards all disciples and sentient beings, all of whom will attain Buddhahood. Please click like, share, and subscribe to help me grow my YouTube channel. Thanks you for watching my video.